All right, welcome everybody. It's Doug here with the LincolnList.com. We're going to do a quick trading recap on the first trade that we took today. That was a really nice one. Went for over $1,000 in gains. It was about one half of the production that we had through the day. But I wanted to just kind of focus on this one because we've seen a lot of these trades, especially since earnings. Well, we always see a fair amount, but we've really seen a lot since earnings season and coming right in here to the summer. We're usually seeing 3 to 4 of these solid bum rush trades. Now, I did a video not too long ago about bum rush trades. If you want this video, I have a couple of other live examples in there. Send me an email, support@thelincolnlist.com. I'll be glad to send it to you free of charge, just so you can see them. But I'll explain to you a little bit why we call them bum rush trades. But I want to go over what we're seeing and how, kind of give you a glimpse of what we do at thelincolnlist.com. So you see how we find these stocks, how we trade them, and what we're looking for, and what we go over with the members in the trading community. And as I say almost every time with these videos, anytime you want to come and see these trades, just visit thelincolnlist.com, take the free trial to the live trade room. It's all live on screen right in front of your face. No slippage, no garbage. You see the share size, you see the position, you see the entry, you see the exit. It's all done right there in real time for you, and I think that's the best way you learn. So let's first talk about BITA. And I want to show you some of the things, what we look for in short sells. And one of the things I think is a misconception when you come up with short selling is everybody thinks if you want to short a stock that you're like Charlie Brown with a black cloud, right? That you're some negative, inhumane human being who hates the earth. And that's not true. What we really do here is you're looking for prices and moves that are just unsustainable. And I think shorting is a great strategy even if you don't want to do it all the time. If you're a long and you're a perma-bull, it's nice to know what short sellers are thinking and how they look at trades, because that's what I like to do. When I'm short a stock, I like to know what longs are thinking. Where would longs be stopped out on this chart? What would longs want to capitulate here? Where would they be buying or adding to positions? It helps you manage your trades and understand how these work. But what we want to talk about here in BITA is, if you look at the daily chart below, there hasn't been much movement outside of earnings. You get some pretty good range, but for the most part, the stock is only worth about 40 to 50 cents a day. So the first thing you get when you open up here in the pre-market, that's what this gray little area is on this chart right here, this little gray spot, post-market and pre-market with Thinkorswim. You already get a really big move. At one point, this candle just gaps up from 2050 to 2090 and then shoots straight to 24. So you got about a $3.50 to $4 move off of news where they received an investment. Now, that's pretty good news, but then you kind of have to weigh as to whether or not this news warrants a 12 to 14% move, and the market's not even open yet. Now, this didn't last very long. I actually tried to get a fill in here and couldn't, and I don't really like to trade in the pre-market or post-market unless it's just too good of a setup. One of the reasons is because of that, the lighter volume, the bad spreads, the only limit orders, so it was kind of difficult to get in. But that didn't kind of rule out the trade. What we were looking at is, as we told everybody, look, when the market opens, if this thing will bum rush, that's where I call it bum rush because that's what everybody does. They come flocking in on it because they're fear they're going to miss out on this rip. And we said if this thing kind of rips and gets back up into high a day, not high a day, but high into the pre-market, I want to get a short in on this trade. And that's exactly what we got. It's like as soon as the market opens, you get a good 10 minutes here worth of buying into this. And you got a pretty steep candle right here. Now, another misconception about short selling is a lot of people just think it's based on percentages. Like a stock is up a certain percentage and it warrants a short. And that's not always the case. That's definitely not what I look for. That's one element, is the range or the percentage move, which this had. The second element is speed and how that move actually takes place. Because if you find a grinding stock, a stock that has just grinded it out or slowly moved up, its ability to hold that trend or that price is a lot better than something that's just going vert. You'll also hear the word parabolic. Parabolic is a term that's referred to a stock that's just supernova, that shoots straight up. Those are going to be a lot harder to hold their gains because all the people that's been in this stock, all the smart traders are already in it, and they're going to just take that profit because they've already seen what happens with these charts. So in this case, we find ourselves a little bit in a kind of a dilemma there early. I was really holding out for a 24 break and a new high where I wanted to get aggressive on the short, but we were seeing a lot of stalling out action. And one of the things that I've looked at, that I've done videos on before, again, if you need them, just shout out, is the RSI on a 5-minute chart. Now, all indicators, just so we know, nothing is golden. You know, nothing just is perfect, but it's a good gauge. RSI is a good gauge to kind of judge overbought conditions, because what it's measuring is time versus price. So what I've got here is, you know, usually when I see high 80s to low 90s, that's a really good starting spot for a short on a 5-minute chart. And here you've got like a 97 RSI, which is way above normal. So not only do we have the percentage gain in this stock, but we also have the speed up move where it opens at 22.50 and shoots up immediately $1 to $1.25. And we have the RSI well over 90. So we have all of those three things combined, which, again, it's not perfect, but it increases the chances of the trade working out for you. Now, in real time, this thing was struggling just a little bit. You know, I was really waiting, as I said, I was waiting for that 24, but it was struggling. So I just went in, as I do oftentimes, with a starter position, because, you know, people always have that fear of missing out, you know, and they chase stocks. And we always talk about risk management, maybe slightly moving off topic here, but position sizing is also a risk management tool. When you find yourself in a situation where you want a stock, but you're not 100% perfect with the price, this is what starter positions are for. So, you know, I was waiting for 24, but the action, the RSI, and all these things were telling me it probably was going to get rejected around 24. So I went in with a starter position with the intent that if it did go to 24.50 or squeeze through there, that I would be able to add, or, you know, even add a little bit more. And I started in here with 1,000, and, you know, fortunately in this case, it didn't even make it immediately right after that. I mean, within probably 2 to 3 minutes after that, this thing just gets wiped out. You see, we call this the power of towers. It's just a double wipeout. I think the actual name for this in technical analysis term is the Marzubo brothers. Don't quote me. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. You don't always need to know the exact pronunciation. You know what it does. And this is a pretty good wipeout. I mean, this thing gets taken out, a quick $1 drop. And then, you know, once it does that, it settles itself in, digests the news, comes back up. And there was a couple of more trades. I didn't go back into this one or take another trade on it. But once it come back up, you could see as the day developed that this 24 became an issue with it, and it kept getting rejected and fading off of that. And that was it really for the remainder of the day. It just kind of flatlined, which is typical. You know, when you're talking about trades, we as traders always say your best trades, the money that you make, 90% of it's going to probably come from the morning, because here's what you get in the morning in this area right here, and this is what you get in the afternoons. You know, not to say that there's no opportunity in the afternoon, but you can see all the volume and how the volume here is in the morning, and then what you get towards the end of the day is kind of lame. So the point is this: when these stocks go up, there is just as a breakout, there is a moment in time where you as a trader can take advantage of a price change, a trend change, a point in the chart where the stock changes its direction. And there are ways for you to figure it out besides just guessing. In our case, when we're shorting stocks, or one of the great ways to short stocks, is you're looking for the stocks that have extreme percentage gains, have speed in the morning where you're seeing, and when I mean speed, these candles are shooting up. You can see the volume coming in. You can see they're skipping bids. They're just shooting straight up in the air, parabolic, supernova, whatever you want to call it. You're looking for that. And of course, we use the RSI. Now, something else I want to kind of comment here on. When I do this, 99% of the stocks I'm looking for are 20 bucks and under. When you get stuff like, you know, mid caps, like VBLTs today, or something like this, or this HIMC, these low float. Let's see if we can find HIMC. These low floaters here. No, it's not HIMC. It's HIMNY. HIMNY in the chimney. HMNY. There we go. Yeah. When you get these little cheap single-digit stocks, you know, these are account killers. They will, like, none of this technical analysis I would say it does apply to some extent, but not nearly as it would in other stocks, because these things will rotate the float sometimes. You get 500% gains. They're just absolute nuts. And if you try to short something like this on the first day, it's not the first one you ever seen. KBIO not too long ago, Digley's, the Lakes, VBLT, VLTC. I mean, the list goes on. There's always going to be these. I try to avoid shorting this kind of stuff on the first day because so many people pile in, and when the float gets, turned like that, it causes these epic squeezes. It's just not worth your time, in my opinion, because one false move on a trade like this could take you out. So I like to spend my time in the $20 to $60 range. That's where I find these behave a little bit more properly. One of the things, you almost always have shares available in that price range for these stocks. They're liquid. They're easy to get in and out of. So just my 2 cents there right at the end. But a good trade, a good thing to add to your toolkit. And as I've always said, even if you don't want to short, you're like, I hate shorts, I hate shorting, I hate short people, then it's always nice to know what a short seller thinks. Because I want to know when I'm short what would a long be thinking. That's an important element of a trader, is to think, hey, where would a long stop out on this chart? What a long want it, and I know that when someone's buying up here at 23.62, they already kind of know in the back of their mind they're chasing. So I know it doesn't take much red or much selling to start shaking everyone out that's chased that stock. And that's what makes these things work. Again, maybe the stock goes back up like this one did. Maybe it rallies and grinds out the whole day, but there's always that piece in the morning. Right here in the morning, there's always an opening for the first 20 to 30 minutes where every day there is people out there chasing these stocks. As they say, amateurs control the open, pros control the close. And those amateurs are jumping in on these trades, running up prices because they're afraid they're going to miss out. And a lot of times they just get smoked, and there's ways that you can make money on it. Unfortunately, that's the way this works. So as always, man, if you guys need some help, hope I can shed some light here. Hope I kind of made some sense to you and you understand a little bit about what we're looking for. If you want to see it, like I said, free trial. All you got to do is go to thelincolnlist.com, sign up for the free trial, come visit the room, see it yourself, see the trades live in real time, and make the decision if you think the educational format we have can get you to the next level as a trader. Other than that, thanks for listening to my video today. As always, keep in touch with us on social media and any other outlet. Visit the blog regularly for our articles. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.